So, can you give like a background about how important having a scholarship to fund you to UK is to you?
What background? No scholarship, no need go lah! I don't have money!
In the beginning of the video, we mentioned that the scholarship she received, it was a full scholarship and she didn't need to sign any bond. So can you explain what are the different types of scholarships other than the one you got? There's also partial scholarships, there's also scholarships with bonds. How do they work?
So a full scholarship is a scholarship where they would support you for the whole of your tuition fees and your living expenses, your accommodation, etc. So any money you have to spend in the UK to keep you alive. Partial scholarships are companies that maybe give you it's not going to be the full amount. They maybe stated the amount that they would give in their website, or a percentage like 50%, 25%.
So for the scholarship you received, the scholarship is for Cambridge students, so naturally they would know the quotation, how much would everything cost. So the scholarship she received already calculated everything for her and said that we will cover all of this.
The scholarship I got is YH2 Capital Scholarship.
Applause! YH2, thank you for funding Yunxing to Cambridge.
Thank you. This scholarship is something that recently started last year, and I think last year or this year, and they only give to Cambridge Malaysian students who want to study in Cambridge, and also in Magdalene College only. Bonds are basically how long you have to work for the company for funding your education. Both has benefits. If you have a bond, for example 10 years or 5 years, you have job security, you have an opportunity to work at potentially a very big company and get
like Petronas
experience.
Actually.
Yeah, like Petronas, like Yayasan Khazanah, like Bank Negara Malaysia. There are a lot of scholarships that don't impose bonds on their scholars, but just to name one, there's Jardine Scholarship. It's an international scholarship that gives mainly to ASEAN countries and China and Hong Kong as well, but only to Oxbridge and certain selected colleges only. So that's off the top of my head, that's the only one I can name, and of course mine.
Initially, how did you look for scholarships? Because you definitely didn't just know YH2 and you googled that and you got that. It's not that simple, right?
Yeah.
What was the searching process like?
That's why awareness is also very important. YH2 wasn't, because it's newly started.
It wasn't really advertising?
Yeah. Yeah. But you have to look around, you have to do your research.
Basically, you just went to a lot of different sites to scavenge for scholarships.
Also, my friends did help. Whenever my friends see something about the scholarship, they would forward it to me. So I would recommend you check out an initiative called Base Scholarship. It's organized by a lot of scholars from different organizations like Khazanah, Bank Negara, YTN, PNB, and they basically have talks every year and they post a lot of information about scholarships, and they even teach you the whole process of how to apply for scholarships, how to prepare for interviews. It's a really good initiative, and it's fully run by scholars, students the same age as us taking their A-levels in Malaysia and going overseas soon. And another website that you can check out is College Lah. They have a lot of information on scholarships as well. So collegelah.com.
I'll link that in the description. Is there any other advice you would give to people that are looking for scholarships? Like maybe in the process, what should they be careful of? Or what should they keep in mind?
Read every single term. Print it out and highlight the important things that you have to prepare, because these scholarships, they want a lot of things. They might want your income statement, your parents' income statement, translated documents. These are things that you should keep in mind. Don't give them a chance to disqualify you before you even show what you're capable of. If you're set that you want to study law or whatever overseas, there's a strategy that you can do, which is maximizing your chances. There are foundation scholarships and there are undergraduate scholarships. Apply for foundation scholarships in your year and they will sponsor you throughout your A-levels in KYUEM for 2 years, and consequently your undergraduate scholarship. If you get that, great. If you don't give up. Try again at the undergraduate phase after you finish your A-levels. And another thing is Don't paise.
Don't paise in English?
Don't paise. Just don't paise, okay?
Yeah.
If you see that this person can help you and you don't know them, just ask for help. If they're a scholar or they were a past scholar, usually people who can relate to your experience of struggling to find scholarships, these people can relate to you and they will try to extend help to you. So don't ever feel that you're too shy to ask strangers for help. For me, I asked a lot of people that I wasn't close to or didn't know at all for advice, and they gave me a lot of advice that ended up being very useful.
So can you tell us roughly for your scholarship process, what did you go through?
I applied using their website and submitted all the documents that they needed. Again, read every single thing. Submit all the documents that they want. Don't leave out a single thing. And there's also a personal statement. Yeah, scholarships love personal statements. Make sure your personal statement is great for you and that it's a perfect fit for the scholarship and what they want as well. And then there were 3 rounds of interviews and I went through every single round in the course of about a month.
I witnessed the stress.
Yeah, it was very stressful.
You had to do like really extensive research in a lot of topics.
Research a lot. Just research everything, general knowledge, things about the law, things about yourself. Be sure what you want to do. Why did you want to study law?
Or why did you want to do what you want to do?
A lot of people cannot answer why law very well. So have a definite answer that comes from within you. Don't make things up. Don't lie. They can tell when you're lying. They can see your passion. Yeah, passion is very important actually. Sponsors want scholars that are passionate in what they want to do. So be sure to show that you're passionate in things. Be sure you have the things to back it up, have the evidence to back it up with what you did.
Okay, so after the 3 interviews, what happened?
I got a phone call from one of my sponsors and she told me I got it.
Did you phone me after that, or did you?
Not you immediately. I bounced off the walls of my very small room first, and then I ran downstairs and told my parents.
I know I can do animations for this.
So, and my parents were scared because they heard a lot of banging sounds, which is me bouncing off the walls. Then they wanted to do a means test. Basically, you sending your income statements to prove that you're not lying about your financial situations.
Oh, that happened after.
Yeah. Almost all scholarships have a means test. The timing of it is different, but almost all scholarships have a means test.
Let us give her some war flashbacks. So, what was it like having to balance your studies with all these application process, UCAS and scholarship, both? Okay, actually, the reason why I included this question was because back several months ago, I asked her, how much time do you think applying for all these scholarships and universities took up in your daily life? And you said how many percent? 20 or 30, I remember. Yeah, and I was
definitely
shocked.
30, more than 30.
I was shocked. Just imagine like every single day you use up 30% of your time doing all this and you are left with 70% for studies and other stuff. That is actually excruciating. So let's have war flashbacks. Tell us, how was it like?
I wanted to die. It was probably the most difficult thing that I had to do. Always balancing. There were periods where you can rest.
Wow, that is a sentence. That's such a sentence.
There were periods where you can rest, but you have to really find them. It's just important that you have perseverance. Don't give up halfway. Is time management very important? Yes. Is my time management good? No. But you will figure it out when you're forced to do so many things.
Is your time management good now because of that process? Still no.
No. Just when you have to squeeze so much things into a day, somehow you'll manage to do it if you want this badly enough.
So my camera battery died. So we're gonna continue this on my phone. She has extra advice.
It's not just scholarships. You have to balance your studies with the applications, with studying for admissions tests, studying for interviews and the actual interviews, it's a lot. It's not that there will ever be enough preparation, you just have to wait for the thing to be over. Do you get what I mean? So like for interviews, you can't prepare for 3 days and say, okay, I learned enough, because your brain doesn't work like that. You'll always prepare, like you'll always be nervous, you'll always be anxious and stressed until the day the interview is over. So that was quite hard to balance with everyday life. Also, I had to do my laundry. The times I do my laundry, like I used to do it like once every week. It became once 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
I brought a lot of clothes.
Okay.
But
Wow, I'm amazed that that works.
I have a friend that does it once a month.
Okay,
Once a month. She had a lot of clothes. So, you know, balancing chores is hard
we understand. It's a give and take process.
Yeah,
when
so-
you work hard on something, you have to let go of some things. Like laundries. Also, I think something to talk about is mental health during this.
It was not good.
Yeah, it was not good. How did you kind of like make it through without...
Surround yourself with good people that genuinely care about you. That's very important. You have to have emotional support. You have to have smart friends that could give you really good advice. Advice that you would take yourself. Don't ever neglect your social life. Have some fun with friends as well. Always cut out time to spend time with your friends.
kind of like keeps you sane.
Yeah. It's not a part of balancing, it's a part of coping.
Yeah.
I don't see social life as something you have to balance. It's something that helps you get through it.
It's not a task, it's a need.
Yeah, it's definitely a need.
After all this UCAS process and scholarship application, is there something that you gain from this experience other than the actual scholarship and the offer to the university, of course? What else, like experience-wise?
I've definitely matured a lot. My productivity and efficiency levels are definitely up. You learn how to cope, you learn how to study faster, study better, do things faster. Intelligence-wise, I've learned a lot in the past year, things that I forced myself to learn.
For the interviews, you mean?
Yeah, for the interviews, and the way of thinking would mature a lot too. The way of making arguments, which is very important for law students, would mature a lot. It has changed a lot, and maybe, I would hope, it has become better and more sophisticated, but who knows, man? Who knows?
So we just say that for some people, they apply for universities on UCAS and they got nothing, and they applied for scholarships and in the end, unfortunately, they didn't get it. Do you think like it's still a worth it experience?
Yeah, it's definitely a worth it experience because you have nothing to lose apart from the £25 you have to pay to apply for the UCAS scholarship. In fact, I have a friend who's so determined that he is going to try again next year. Maybe you could rethink what you want to do, and if this is something you still really want, there's no harm in trying again one more year, right?
Okay, so that's it for this video. So hope that you guys actually learned something from it and that we kind of helped you. And then in the next video, if you're interested, it will be about her experience with Cambridge and as well as her way of preparing for personal statements and what she thinks has helped her.
Yeah.
So, bye!